The air in our living room felt too still, like the world held its breath while my heart cracked open. I stood frozen, staring at the text on my wife's phone, the glow of the screen burning into my retinas. Last night was everything. I can't stop thinking about you. It was from him. Her ex. The man I'd convinced myself was a ghost from her past, harmless and forgotten. My thumb hovered over the message, dread pooling in my gut like cold oil. How had we gotten here, just weeks before our wedding? Lila had been radiant that morning, her laugh filling our small apartment as she danced around the kitchen, flipping pancakes with a flourish. "You're gonna love tonight, Nate," she'd said, her hazel eyes sparkling with a secret I thought was playful. "One last wild night before we're boring old married people." I'd grinned, kissing her flour-dusted cheek, assuming she meant her bachelorette party, drinks with her girlfriends, maybe a silly bar crawl. But now, holding her phone, the memory of her smile felt like a blade twisting in my chest. The signs had been there, hadn't they? Subtle, like whispers I'd chosen to ignore. The way she'd linger on her phone late at night, her face bathed in blue light, claiming it was just work. The extra care she took getting ready for her girls' night, her perfume heavier, her dress clinging to her curves in a way that felt meant for someone else's eyes. I'd brushed it off. Lila loved me. She'd chosen me. Hadn't she? I set the phone down on the coffee table, my hands trembling. The apartment was quiet, save for the distant hum of traffic outside. Our shared space, once a sanctuary of late-night talks and tangled sheets, now felt like a stage for a play I hadn't rehearsed. Her keys sat in the ceramic bowl by the door, next to the Polaroid of us at the lake last summer. Her head on my shoulder, both of us grinning like we'd cracked the code to forever. I wanted to scream, to smash something, but instead, I sank onto the couch, my mind spiraling. Last night, she'd come home at dawn, her hair mussed, her lipstick smudged. "Too much wine," she'd mumbled, collapsing into bed without a shower. I'd laughed, teasing her about dancing on tables, but her smile had been tight, her eyes avoiding mine. Why hadn't I questioned it? Why had I let her slip into sleep while I lay awake, tracing the curve of her shoulder, believing we were untouchable? The front door clicked open and my heart lurched. Lila stepped inside, her purse slung over her shoulder, her face flushed from the autumn chill. She froze when she saw me, her eyes darting to the phone on the table. "Nate? You're home early," she said, her voice too bright, like a light bulb about to burn out. "Whose number is this?" I asked, holding up her phone, my voice low but sharp, cutting through the air like a wire. Her smile faltered, and for a moment, I saw something flicker in her eyes, guilt, fear, or maybe defiance. "It's nobody," she said, setting her purse down with deliberate slowness. "Just a friend from work. Why are you going through my phone?" "Don't," I snapped, standing up. My chest tightened, anger warring with the ache of betrayal. "Don't lie to me, Lila. I saw the message. From him." Her ex's name hung unspoken between us, heavy as a storm cloud. "What happened last night?" She crossed her arms, her jaw tightening. "Nothing happened, Nate. God, you're being paranoid." But her voice trembled, and her gaze flicked to the floor, betraying her. "Paranoid?" I stepped closer, my pulse hammering. "You come home at 5 in the morning, reeking of his cologne, and I'm supposed to believe it was just wine and dancing? Tell me the truth, Lila. What did you do?" Her lips parted, but no words came. The silence stretched, thick and suffocating, until she finally whispered, "It wasn't supposed to mean anything." The room tilted. My knees buckled, and I gripped the back of the couch to steady myself. What wasn't supposed to mean anything? My voice cracked, raw with desperation. "What did you do with him?" She sank onto the armchair, her hands twisting in her lap. I saw him last night," she admitted, her voice barely audible. "At the bar. It was supposed to be just the girls, but he showed up. I don't know how he knew I'd be there." She looked up, her eyes glistening with tears. "We talked. That's all. I swear." "Then why does he think last night was everything?" I spat, quoting the text. My hands clenched into fists, nails biting into my palms. "Why can't you look me in the eye, Lila?" She flinched, her shoulders hunching. We danced," she said, her voice breaking. "And then, I don't know, Nate. I was drunk, and he was there, and it felt like like I was 20 again before everything got so serious. She buried her face in her hands, her sobs muffled. It was a mistake. A stupid, awful mistake. A mistake. The word echoed in my skull, hollow and sharp. I wanted to believe her, to cling to the version of us I'd built in my head. The one where she wore my ring, where we planned a future. But the image of her with him, their bodies pressed close in some dimly lit bar, her laughter spilling into his ears, clawed at me. Did you sleep with him? I asked, my voice barely a whisper, terrified of the answer. Lila's head snapped up, her eyes wide. No. Nate, no. I didn't. I swear. But there was a hesitation, a fracture in her voice that made my stomach churn. We kissed, she admitted, her words slicing through me. Just once. I stopped it. I left. I came home to you. I staggered back, the room spinning. A kiss. Just a kiss. But it wasn't just anything. It was a crack in the foundation of everything I thought we were. Why? I choked out. Why him? Why now? She stood, reaching for me. But I stepped back, out of her orbit. I don't know, she said, tears streaming down her face. I was scared, okay? Scared of losing myself. Of becoming just someone's wife. He was there. And he reminded me of who I used to be. But I don't want him, Nate. I want you. I love you. Her words felt like a lifeline, but one frayed and slipping through my fingers. I turned away, staring at the Polaroid on the table, our frozen smiles mocking me. How am I supposed to trust you now? I asked, my voice hollow. We're supposed to get married in 3 weeks, Lila. 3 weeks. I know, she whispered, stepping closer. I'll do anything to fix this. Anything. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But as I looked at her, the woman I'd loved with every piece of me, I saw the shadow of someone else in her eyes. Not just her ex, but the version of her I'd never known. The one who craved freedom, who could slip away into the night and leave me behind. The room felt too small, the air too thick. I grabbed my jacket and headed for the door. Nate, please, she called, her voice breaking. Don't go. But I didn't stop. I stepped into the cold night, the city lights blurring through the tears I refused to let fall. Behind me, the door clicked shut, and with it, the life I'd planned. Somewhere in the distance, a car horn blared, sharp and fleeting, like the sound of my heart breaking. And then in my pocket my phone buzzed. A new message from an unknown number. She's lying. It wasn't just a kiss. Attached was a photo, Lila, her arms around him, their lips locked in a dimly lit alley, her engagement ring glinting like a cruel afterthought.